rotations are needed, support plays are needed, and they just don't have that.
Well then, after all the discussion, it has arrived here. It's going to be G2 versus Na'Vi, and G2 starting on the CT side. So that's interesting. Do you think they won the knife round and they went that? I'm not so sure. We didn't catch a knife, but that's obviously an interesting discussion, all things considered. We'll see what happens here. It'll be 4 sets of armor for the CTs and 3 for Na'Vi. Simple with the Desert Eagle. A common trend these days, it seems. Steed's got a Molotov and a smoke. A Molotov normally used towards the inside sight, and you can see the T's actually investigating towards Brown Halls right now, seeing what it's going to be available to them. Quite a passive hold from G2 overall, sitting in the back of the B bomb site there, not overcommitting, looking for it. And we'll see.
Simple's going to try with this Deagle as well. To find Shocks, that wide peak, we know that's common. You've made mention of that. It's a hard shot both ways.
Yeah, especially with pistols as well, but sees there it is. The first shot, he actually takes down Scream. He's going aggressive towards main there. That's maybe an overcommitment at this stage of the round as well. Didn't really have to push in that early on, especially with no one else with him. He's obviously trying to hunt for information, but now he's given the man advantage to the T's. Oh, I like this. I haven't seen this with a pistol.
He didn't see him in return.
Okay.
That's decent with the Deagle. That's the weapon to do it with.
Yeah.
Simple can't hit the shot.
Yeah, definitely only welcome for 1 or 2 shots there. The USP certainly viable at that range as well. Like he said, didn't really spot him in return. Still a 5 and 4. There's going to be a smoke and a Molotov available. It looks like they will be taking their focus towards outside here. RPK towards Ivy. He's going to have 2 players arriving imminently. As G2 have brought all their players towards outside as well. No one towards inner. Bit of a risk, but one that could pay off.
RPK does find the shot on Flame. He knows Seized is also there. Smoke in front of him. He'll get into the corner. Smiths will be the one to get Guardian. So suddenly the favor's turned. It's G2 that have the lead. Simple's going to try and backpedal around the train. Catch out one at E-Box. And Edwards' kill, responded by Shocks, means it's down to 2 versus 2. Changed again. Seized finds RPK. It's Shocks remaining 1 versus 2. He's got to try and clutch this back. Old bomb alley, and he's 8 seconds, but bomb's down near the bomb train. That works as well. Simple just assassinates. They pincer him in. They were always going to find a fight before the time expired. The other option was to go immediately for the bomb at quad. No one went that direction. And to be fair, that probably was the right call, because getting there and getting back, they would have been around 6 to 5 seconds to plant.
Yeah, they couldn't actually do anything with that one. So it was going to be Shocks there trying to fall back. He saw the timer, thought, well, might as well take my chances, fall back heavily. Obviously doesn't work out for him. He gets caught in the crossfire there. A nice move from Na'Vi. Bit of a gamble towards the end there from them as well, but it does pay off, and they managed to get the much needed pistol here on the T side of Train. Interesting, Guardian's gone with the Krieg. I'm not sure that's a misbuy. Certainly not a common weapon here. It costs $3,300 more than the AK, but it's got the scope in it. Train has a long-range map. Maybe he didn't mean to bring it. It's going to be body to open things up with another double kill from that 5-7. He was doing this yesterday. The Guardian showing us what the Krieg can do and manages to bring it to a 3-on-2.
We do talk about this occasionally when we see one come up, whether on purpose or not. Guardian will go down. Shocks, he's going to follow that up with 2. Edwards going to fall in the same footsteps. Now it becomes a problem. That Krieg and an AK, 2 of them, in fact, are down. Rather, take that back. One of them is a UMP, but either way, the guns are down at the bottom of the ramp. They've elected not to grab him. Shocks doesn't push forward. No Siege is close, so he still has the advantage with the AK, but it's against 2. He's got full utility and bomb. I'll come back to the point on the Krieg in a moment. As Shocks is going to work in toward the ramp, try and wrap around Siege with the crosshair placement. Already there, is going to hit the shot, not taking any damage in return, and he'll spray down to find Scream. Thankfully not taking any damage, because Scream did get a shot into him. Krieg's first bullet accuracy, same with the AUG. They both are almost 100% at full range, whereas the fall-off in the AK and M4 are different.
It's the range that you fall off with in terms of the accuracy there. Like I said, it's a really strange buy to bring out in that second round.
Totally agree.
It's obviously only $300 more, but it's not really worth the extra expense, you know. But still, G2 making things very interesting there. 2, 5, 7 kills from bodies. They went towards the bomb site. Na'Vi with a strange anti-eco there. It's such a risk. You have no idea what kind of stacks it'll be towards that site. You want to be doing a default first, making the cities give away some tells at the start of the round. Don't want it to be fully committing. Luckily, Cease has put it off, and it will be a full eco for G2. So they do some heavy damage to the economy of the Na'Vi overall, but still, they should be in quite clean contention to win this round. It's going to be 1 AK, 3 MAC-10s, and Guardian just sticking on the USP. That's another interesting reason. Obviously, the AWPR as well. Spending more money on rifles like that, it's not really required. This round should be quite clean, but Shocks finds 2 of the PT-50 somehow. Seized and Flamey drop. 3-on-3, still has a chance to get more here. Headshot onto Guardian as well.
The pistols the last round were impressive enough on their own. This time they've got a chance, but look at the surrounding factors onto Shocks' position. Simple gets there in time. 2 of them were low HP. There was chance for more, but Simple's timing. It's the one that leads off. And Simple's headshot, the one to finish off. Body down toward Ivy. Now we get the guns drawn for G2.
So, Guardian suddenly gets the AWP. Seized with a ton of cash as well. Guardian did spend a single penny last round, kept on that silence USP, but G2, they're looking pretty strong here. After all the kills they've got, they've managed to justify a double AWP setup here to kick things off. Smiths and Shoxy quite a deadly duo in some maps as well. I actually like Smiths on this one, on train especially. I think it's probably his second best next to Dust 2. We'll see what he can do here. It's going to be no kits over the CTs. Quite a heavy commitment in terms of the weaponry. Not many nades to work with, and we'll see what happens.
So Shocks, AWP, Smiths on the other for the CT side. One on either side. Smith's just going back over toward Old Bomb so we can watch down the alley toward Pop Dog, potentially sport off on Ivy. Na'Vi blowing out windows, default play. Mask any chance of fakes or execution. If they do it every single round, Shock's going to sit in the same position. They can play from the tanker as well, but scoped in gives them a slightly better chance of hitting that shot, you'd say.
You can see Na'Vi still with 4 smokes in hand, just trying to bleed out the CTs. They know it's going to be a difficult round for them in the first gun, and it's always a bit of a struggle for the defending side, but no one yet to really do any damage here. Looks like the terrorists will be adjusting towards inside. Maybe a full execution here, seeing they still have 3 smokes and Molotovs with the flashbangs available, and they'll start to line things up right now. That's a problem for the double AWP setup. Once the bomb's planted, the smokes are down, Shox is under a lot of pressure to make some picks happen here. If you can't make it actually a reality, at that point it could be an easy run for Na'Vi if they push down towards the aggressive positions and lock down the rotations.
Shot comes in, Body succeeding, but it's followed up. Edward, Body can't spray through to find 2. It's going to give him 4 versus 4 inside sight. 2 AWPs in play, but they're getting closer. They're pushing forward to those positions, which could be a problem, especially for Smith. Doesn't get the gun redrawn, but Shox is over to his left. He'll save him. And now the ops can start to go to work. RPK down. It's 2 ops of 3 weapons. Does mean an M4 is near where Smiths is playing. Shox has found a second one. Flamey's going to stay on top of the site. Man down. Simple falling to Smiths, who elects to stay with it. Now it doesn't matter what weapons they've got because they've got manpower. Flamey finds one. Wide peek. Nicked it. Another scream goes down as he bypasses Smiths, and it's onto a one-on-one. Both climb up the train. Spotted by Flamey in the end, and Smiths unscoping goes for the no-scope. Can't find it. Flamey's in the open, but he's out of ammo. He's got to fall back. Smiths, he's going to do the same. He's got no kit. It's the round over. Flamey's got it.
3 versus 1. Flamey pretty much just need 2 kills there to guarantee it. Like I said, no kits going into that situation. The 2 AWPs trying to take him down. They did such a great job to kick things off as well. Body, yes, he finds 1 kill, but he delays him just enough to give Shox the room to move there and find 2 kills. They had the huge man advantage, 3 versus 1, but we did point it out. That was a bit of a risk with the double AWP setup. Yes, they got them kills, but with no defuse kits there, very difficult to win the situation after it happened. That was the full inside execution from Na'Vi. We saw them pushing down behind enemy lines there towards the rotation points, but the CTs were ready for it. They actually got the kills they needed. Unfortunately, can't pick up the round, and it's going to be number 5 coming in. An eco here. Smiths does obviously save the AWP. They've partially bought into it. It's going to be 5 7s, some deagles, a PD50, and some body armor. Scream just on the deagle here. But a lovely start from Na'Vi. Some very close rounds, though, Matt. It's hardly been a clean run for Na'Vi. They're winning lots of rounds, 1v2, 3 versus 1. You know, it's not like it's completely G2 getting run over like we saw versus NIP. Still can win these rounds as well. Smiths can just find 1 pick with the AWP, funnel the terrorists into a position where they've got a stack going on. You can see they've got an aggressive play from Body towards inside. As soon as he can get some position, he could actually fall back here, trying to make something happen. The deagle doesn't do much. Then a body shot towards Guardian here. He goes under 72 HP. They will be adjusting themselves towards inner, it seems.
Edward's going to be the one to lead. AK in hand, Flamey, bomb behind, and as you say, it has been close rounds, there's no question. G2's contesting. The problem is their money gone this time gives Na'Vi a chance to finally have an efficient round and build up a bit of a bank. If they can keep it close, they can break them sooner. Body does do decent damage onto Simple, takes him down to 48, but kill it is not, nor 2 for Shox, as Edward will walk down the ramp. AK on high, will take him down. C's going to push forward, cut off rotations. RPK, though, getting aggressive in this smoke. Edward, back turn going up the ramp. Might get caught. Headshot. Lovely stuff from RPK. Second one as well, and Scream's found one in the mix. So even still, Na'Vi, it comes to a 2 versus 2. And AWP still on Smith. Scream's going to fall, but the AWP is able to pick it up. Now it's down to a one-on-one. Smith's again scopes in, can't find the player. Does land the shot in the end. Flamey's turn to whiff. And G2 pick it up with that 1 AWP held over.
Yeah, there it is. Somehow it works out for them after losing the first 2 initial frags. Yes, Smith wins the 1v1, but I have to say, RPK, he does most of the legwork there, pushing through that smoke, perfectly timed there, takes down one and gets the one in the lower ramp as well. It sets up Smith for an actual 1v1 situation that's possible this time. He nails the shot required. I didn't really catch it from Flamey's point of view, whether he whiffed the shot. It sounded like he did with the amount of shots fired, but still, headline is it's going to be G2 finding their first round here. On a partial buy as well, saving the AWP, like I said, it always has potential to win you rounds, especially on a map like Train, where you have the access to rotate into bomb sites and still find long-range picks.
Molotov toward A main from Scream. Nade as well. Stack damage, no one there to receive it. MP9 for Shocks.
Yeah, you can see this is still full reset territory, and Shocks does push towards inner, looking for that first frag. He hears him shooting out the windows there, and he gets the frag, drops the bomb as well. At this point, decides to fall back. You know the rotations will be coming in. Wants to keep the man advantage true.
Yeah, it's an interesting call to go back so early, but like you said, keep the man advantage.
Yeah, well, it's a nice way from him. As soon as you shoot out the windows there, you're setting up to maybe throw smokes there, and he's actually knowing the terrorist could be distracted for a few seconds and capitalizes and makes that MP9 actually find the first kill and stay alive. That's the impressive part.
Smoke off left. Na'Vi with a chance to wrap in toward Hell and take over Sandwich. Bomb was recovered. They're going to go through the smoke. That is a peculiar play. RPK's waiting for it. It's too easy. Seized and Flamey go down. Most times we see a smoke left, push right, or vice versa.
Well, I guess that's the idea, right? You wouldn't anticipate that play coming in, but RPK, this has the crosshair line perfectly. Edwards should find a kill and return here. It does get a land. It's going to be Shocks dropping here, but still a 4-on-2. They know Edwards towards inner. It's Guardian by himself in the main entrance. At this point, make them commit to a bomb site. You don't really need to work too hard for this one. Hide up in positions where they're committed, and then at that point, equal exchanges will be fine.
Guardian is working into the A site now. No one's peeking. We saw that for a moment, Scream's position on top of Ticket Booth boosted up. With him there, watching essentially all of the bomb train, there's really no way to it. Even if you come through Sandwich, you could spot the head. Oh, he's dropped down. I was going to say, they don't even really need to have much of a presence on this outer site in a 4 versus 2.
Yeah, well, we get to the 15-second mark here. CT's actually allowing them to go towards outer. That's a shot that could have won them the round, but now Scream will be rotating in. A lovely play from Edward, though. Bomb is actually a possibility now.
And that shot that Guardian just missed, again, you said could have won the round. If they picked up 2 versus 2 post plant, they do get it down at 5 seconds. They give themselves a considerably better chance. Now they've got one, an old train they still have to find, and Body, he'll land it from Z Connector. It's all on Guardian. AWP, E-Box to cover off a very basic and default plant. And he's got to be perfect in his selection of shots. Finds one. Smith gets close. Can't land it in return, but he takes his time. Well composed. Scopes in, and Guardian will go down on the repeat.
Yeah, definitely well composed there. A shot you think the Guardian could hit for days there, but Smiths lines it up perfectly, waits for the reface to come in, and pulls the trigger. Another big kill for him. Only finds one in the round, but still, Guardian, had he had found that kill, that's pretty much round over. Guardian's the king of those situations. So 2 in a row for G2. Much needed kills towards Ivy. That's from RPK, like you said. A very odd decision from Na'Vi. I guess that's the whole idea behind it. Pushing through and the unanticipated plays coming into the CT defense. But they're managing to hold it off there. RPK with solid performance. And it's broken the economy of Na'Vi now. Just going to be having Tech 9s. They have got 4 smokes here. This would be more than likely an outside play. Wall of smokes comes in. Flash come out. Well, they haven't even got a flash to work with. They actually just got the run out completely dry. But the smokes come in. Try and get the bomb plant down. And see if we can run through the smokes and make the Tech 9s actually do something here. They've got a Molotov as well for a post-plant situation, if it comes to that.
So they had us as Anders and Semler. We've got Scream as RPK. Shocks, well, he's Shocks at least. Smith's is Scream. The pictures are all misaligned. Either way, on the way into the site, RPK, or is it, going to take down Seized. He found one with a Tech 9 beforehand, but Guardian's going to follow up and find RPK. So even when it's Na'Vi's turn to get broken and go back to just limited weaponry, we talked about how close rounds were when they were winning Guardian. That's a lovely shot on Smith's. Body's down below. He'll drop the bomb temporarily. But now it's the same in reverse. So all these rounds staying so close throughout the course of the game. Economy's not really favoring anyone right now.
No one's really getting stable here, but to be fair, G2 now are getting to a more comfortable position. You can see Smiths, before he invests into this round, he has got $8,000. So another double AWP setup for the CTs here is very viable on training. Obviously a little bit weaker to the full executions like we described before towards the inner side, but normally can be recovered if you're going for those initial early picks as well. The idea is trying to take one of the terrorists down before they have a chance to go into that execution. That's the dream setup. Scream, very good at pushing into main entrance. We saw a try out on the pistol, but he can be very good with the timings and definitely has the aim to pull off those sort of moves. We'll see what happens here. It's actually quite a weak buy from Na'Vi. You can see Simple. He's only got a Galil here. Shock looking out for the boost towards inner. But Na'Vi opting to have no AWP and Guardian and go for the utility buy. Like I said, Scream loves pushing in this position. Does it time and time again. The idea is to get one kill, try and fall back after dropping a smoke, and we'll see whether it works out for him. There are terrorists on the other side. You can see them lining up smokes towards the dumpster area on the right. He wouldn't push further than this, though. This is probably as far as you want to go. You have no idea what's lurking around the corner.
Simple doesn't want to go down the ladder either. He'll hold in case anyone wants to push for flank. Seized not alone in throwing that smoke. There we go, better view. Scream's going to hear them setting these up, though. Takes one, that bomb as well. They've got to go back for it. Smoke, oh, doubly thrown. Now, okay, not a big deal. Yes, it smokes it off so that they can't get information. They'll get the bomb back, but will that lack of a second smoke be a problem for them when the execution does come in? C's going to find a kill on RPK, but Shock's there, hold the angle at the end of Ivy and Scream. Top of the green chain's going to find Flamey. Now it's down to Simple and Edward, and Simple was waiting at ladder. He's gone. They wanted to take all three approaches, but that single kill by pushing out and taking the bomb early thwarted the plans heavily. Wrap from Edward. Simple may get towards Scream. In fact, does just spot him. We snap away. Simple's going to win that duel. Edward's got the one on Shock. Bullets go behind. He knows someone's coming up from CT. And suddenly they've got some awareness. But Smith's position undetected. Good shot on Simple. And now Edward's between two, and Smiths knows exactly where he is. Walking forward, it's going to be Body to get the kill, but Smith's crosshair surely was on him.
Bit of a closer situation than G2 would have liked there towards the end, but it was a great play from Scream to kick things off there. Pushing in towards main entrance, you could see the communication from his teammates. To do set smokes towards outside the wall of smokes, you need 3 players towards that dumpster area. As soon as the smoke's going over, he's using that opportunity to push round. The perfect time he comes in, he catches him with the knives out, trying to rotate and actually use the smokes to get position there, and he catches that first kill. That actually really discombobulates him completely. He gets 1 kill, and then you can see Na'Vi do well to return and actually bring it down to a 2-on-2, but still pretty comfortable overall for G2. An inside rush, Body been great so far, looking to mow them down. He manages to get 2. Actually Shocks with a double kill there.
Yeah.
Okay.
He shot through one into the other as Edward and Flamey went down.
Not too shabby.
And they said it on the desk. YNK, I think, was the one who said it. That this is the map that G2 is most capable of getting CT-sided rounds on. I think that's showing now. They start to accumulate, and efficiently in this one, and build a bank. Although, there it is. As soon as I say anything, Henry.
It's still a lot of work to do. Yes, he's giving his position away towards the CT spawn area. Yes, he gets RPK and an M4 heavy. You can see Smith's poised and ready to pull the trigger if he does dare walk around the corner here. The bomb's down towards the inner side as well. Simple with just a deagle. Doesn't really have much to work with here. All the CTs looking at the bomb, knocking down the choke points. And Smiths. This is the key angle here. There it is. Such an easy kill for him. Well played, well positioned. And now just Simple, trying to recover anything at the bottom of that round, but this is just nothing for him. And Smiths, like we said, I think this is probably his second best map next to Dust 2. I always see him post decent numbers here and actually have influential kills. Good positioning as well. We'll see what happens going forward. It's actually quite a substantial amount of rounds now in favour of G2. There was a lot of tight situations to kick things off at the start of the round. Lots of clutches going in favour of Na'Vi, but this time G2 seems to be a solid unit.
Well, they're showing it.
Yeah, and still using the double up setup. Another full buy for Na'Vi this time. I think that's 5 rounds in a row for GT. So maximum loss bonus for the T's. Getting the all-bound and Guardian once again. And Edward much faster this time. Getting out of main entrance. Looking for the first frag. Smith's on the other side, but he drops already. Guardian finds him.
Scream caught in the open. Simple pushes through a smoke. Nearly gets 2 does. Last bullet catches Shocks before he gets back around the corner. Scream would have never expected that smoke to be pushed. Oh. RPK misses a big shot. That's going to make it a 5 versus 1. And if their chances were bad even with that kill, they're certainly gone now.
Yeah, well, a complete change of pace there. Everyone knows Na'Vi to be the slow-paced team, the actually working defaults, trying to enable the first picks there, but they completely throw a spanner in the works there. A fast push towards outer bomb site. The cities weren't expecting it at all. Edward, fast out of main entrance, backed up by Guardian as well, who nails the first shot towards Smiths, and the round just unfolded to G2 there. So I like that adjustment from Na'Vi. They've lost 5 in a row, trying something different there, and actually didn't drop a single kill. They managed to keep 5 alive, but you can see with the money left over. Yes, they'd still be able to buy, but still a bit of a reset potential coming in. The buy comes in from G2 as well. They've managed to bring still double orbs here. Very limited though. You can see RPK's only got a P250 once again with 1 kit. This time they'll be focusing towards the brown holes. Getting early control there. It's a very lucrative part of the map. If the CDs can lock that down on one of those orbs, means they can have 4 rifles towards outside, but not going to be the case here. Just Body by himself.
Guardian. Haven't seen as much from him in this game, to be fair, as we normally do. Shocks, meanwhile, on the second AWP, he's going to try and play off RPK, who just has the P250. Hit one, great. Don't bait them in. See, he's not willing to go around the corner just yet with Flamey stacked beside. They have cleared to the corner on inner. Guardian's made it all the way to the wide peak with the AWP. He's starting to look down deep inside of the site. And the bomb's slowly going in that direction as a result. Smoke comes out, Shocks. I think he may have just spotted the shoulder of C's, and this is where the bait starts to work. If they want to wrap through CT and hit B with a 4-1 split, well, they've got to go by RPK. He goes fast on it. He's going to catch off C's. That gives him a weapon, so now it's a 5-on-4. Favor of G2. Inner sight going to go. Smoke's out on sidewalk, already down inside of the bottom of the ramp. Edward won't be able to see through that, but he's going to push, climb up the ladder, check behind the spools. No one there, sight cleared. Body takes him down as well. Good headshot. As Shocks is waiting for an opportunity with the smokes still in front to find the shot with the AWP, and Simple is going to push all the way up to cut off rotations, all of which are coming from the back of the site. 3 of them already toward the Z side. 1 over toward where Shox is playing on Spool. Good shot from Simple. Straight forward headshot. Has to wait. Tries to spray through. 2 players in front. Can't get it.
They've got to save at this point. No kits, no nades. Well, they have to pick up one now. Smith manages to salvage it, but still need 4 kills, and they're dropping like flies here. Simple and Guardian doing some serious work. Just Shox remaining. Hasn't really had any impact. He's been in this inner situation throughout the start of it, and actually managing to be smoked out, flashed out. Has to fall back at this point. 4 players surviving for Na'Vi. He's just going to have to try and stay alive here. Oh, a lovely shot there towards Simple. Gives his position away, and he will be found by Flamey in the end there. So Na'Vi, after investigating towards the side alley, the RV area, it was RPK that opened things up at the PT50. An unlikely kill, but it funnels Na'Vi back towards inside. Another full execution at that point. You could see how that is affecting the double orb setup. They just can't do anything. Once the smokes and molotovs have been deployed, they're struggling as well as Simple. He's doing the perfect work there. You're actually pushing down with the smokes, getting right in front of them, waiting for the rotations to come in. And with the CTs, with the lack of kits, the lack of utility, have no choice but to push through. They can't waste any time at that point. And it has broken the money of G2. 6-5 overall. Nothing really invested into round number 12. It's going to be 4 USPs. Smith's just on a PT50 here, so this is almost a guaranteed round. And I do say it, though. To be fair, G2, this is better on their CT side than what we've been seeing recently. Getting 5 rounds for them, not necessarily the end of the world, you know. They're actually in contention to get a lot more, but they've been getting run over on their CT sides. And they've actually been putting up a decent fight so far.
Flamey into the flames. He'll go. Missed nade. Catches a very small pillar on the side of the wall or support beam. RPK with just the pistol going to try and hold this off, but 3 players coming down. I doubt he'll be able to do much. Simple's already found Scream. Bullets going directly by his head, and they'll eventually find his upper body, no less, but kill comes in. 3 left. G2, 1 inside control. Could be a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, well, you get to do well with the silent USP to make anything happen. They're just hoping they plan and don't check. Let's see whether Scream can find anything they can't do it. It's going to be a 5-man round there for Na'Vi. All players staying alive. But we have got another buy here for G2, but you can see the money still in a difficult situation for them. No double orbs this time, not even a single orb. Once again, no kits. I think at this round we need to see more from Scream towards that main entrance. Needs to be hunting for that first frag at the start of the round. Maybe a push towards Ivy. That would be beneficial for G2 when you have not really much to work with and you're lacking the orb. That's how you're going to get your first picks by having that surprise factor. We haven't seen too much of the heavy aggression with the CTs just yet, but this looks like maybe another fast round from Na'Vi. Edward leading the charge to see what he can do here.
Smith tries, has to fall, does damage, but in the end, he goes down. He gets an assist, though, on the kill on Flamey. Scream and Shox are going to step up. They'll find 2 to slow Na'Vi's fast pace. We talked about this. It's Simple. Left alone in a 1 versus 3, and RPK is going to find the last 2. We saw the bomb go down, and Simple could do nothing to respond.
Well, the round that worked so well before. This time, instead of the AWP setup, it's going to be the rifles that works out for G2. The adjustment there was Scream towards Heaven, actually getting in a position where he could take a lot of the attention away from his teammates there, gets 1 kill, stays alive, tucks himself into the corner, allows RPK to get a decent position on the remaining Ts. They were low HP as well, some good grenades at the start, actually did a ton of damage, and we've lost a player for Na'Vi, so I'm sure this round is not going to happen.
It's not, you're right.
That would be weird.
Well, Guardian will be back momentarily.
I'm sure he will. But yeah, this is much more promising, I have to say, from G2 overall. They're looking like they're kind of adjusting correctly, and even on the rounds they're up against it with the lesser buys, they're actually using the setups that are going to work for them best. And it's a similar story as well for Na'Vi overall. They've tried some different approaches here. They've had the set pieces, the defaults, they've tried those fast pushes as well. Just kind of experimented to see what's going to be best to break down the defenses of G2. They've once again tried that fast play that worked so well before, but this time G2 are ready for it, lock it down with decent crossfires. I guess that's better in that case to have the rifles ready for them and actually take the fight to Na'Vi instead of sitting back and trying to get the picks.
Simple's been a little bit more aggressive and assertive again, as always, starting to step into that role more and more on this team.
Yeah, you can see that they've added a few strings to their bow in terms of their overall game. Like I said, Navi's known traditionally to be such a slow team, like just bleeding the CTs out and then go for those executions after getting the picks. Like, at least they're bringing a lot of aggression more regularly this time. And Guardian, this looks no different. He's going to be going straight down towards Pop Dog and seeing if there's anything available for him in the early plays. It's going to be Shox flashing in. Could work out perfectly for him as well. Completely blinds Guardian. At this point, doesn't need to overcommit. He's got the pick he needs. Scream backing him up as well. Just fall back. Get into a position where the T's have to commit the next move.
Yeah, decent backup from Scream. Edward couldn't afford to repeak. So down early. They'll bring the AWP back up. Edwards grabbed it. AK as well. Simple still got his to work with. They need a pick to equalize. Shox is going to push up, potentially going behind the spool. where no one's played yet on the G2 side, so they have checked it. We've seen it checked twice on entry. We'll see if it will be this time if they like to go over to board B, which looks more and more likely, but Seized, he's going to play the late man toward Ivy.
Yeah, he's just trying to show some presence here, Seized, and potentially hold some rotations off for his teammates. He's going to have to start making a move now. He has obviously got the option as well to come in for a late flank, but at this point when he's shown a smoke and a Molotov, he probably won't even be committing. He'll be falling back and going towards main entrance as his teammates actually going to be opting to go back towards outside. 30 seconds remaining, simple with the AWP.
And they're going to wrap around at the exact time that Seized has made its way back toward the main entrance, as you say, so it'll be 2 from the front of the site. 2 approaches, that is. Flamey, smoke off already towards Z connector. Flash in. Smith's going to push her immediately through that. They're all caught by the flash in turn. That gives him support onto Scream, who's found Seized. And Smith above can't land the shot. Flamey's going to respond. Body's going to try and follow up from the same position. He's going to have to be large, though. He's going to have to time this. Misses the shots, and he's bailed out. His teammate Simple hits the shot. Edward will go down, though. That causes the bomb to drop, and Simple's got to get the kill to win the round. 2 of them, in fact, as time was gone. So Body, he may have fallen, but the bomb getting denied ends the round.
Yeah, nice work from G2 there. You can see Shoxy aggressive towards Pop Dog at the start. Could center. There were players on the other side there. Perfectly timed flashbang takes Guardian out of the situation. Like you said, Guardian not really peaked to this point. He's got 8 kills, but still not the kind of levels we expect from him on train. One of his home maps for sure. And at that point, G2 falling back, forcing Na'Vi to make the next move. Seized tried to show some presence towards the Ivy area, but it wasn't really convincing at that point. And with 30 seconds remaining, G2 could read the situation pretty well, lock it down, and another double up setup to finish things off here in round number 15. Looking to win the half. After a back and forth game, it was Na'Vi that went up 4-0, but GT looking to finish things off here. But Guardian, he seems like he's back. He takes down Shox there. He's going for that close range first or pick. Doesn't work out for him, but Body's going to be backed up and now a Scream. So a bit of a commitment here from the CT to go towards inside.
Body does get the shot on Simple, holds the corner. Smokes it off as well. They still have Scream down below to watch the lower position. No one's going to enter in and catch Body off. Navi's starting to look elsewhere on the map. A side. C's going to try and wrap. RPK holding it. They've not bypassed RPK once when he plays that passive angle. If you think back to when they tried to push through that smoke, he shot down 2, and in doing so, Smith's a line down from Old Bomb will hit Flamey, the first to enter. Op's going to get the position in turn, but he tries to go for the secondary peek. Can't get it, but won't reface it, won't bother. Navi's got to find a kill immediately, and Smith does get Guardian when he goes toward the third alley instead. So as you said, he's better on this map. He's finding the angles. He's making it work. Edward's in a 1 versus 4, and I think 8-7 is where we're going to end on the half, Henry. I can't see this changing.
I think you might be right there. 4 versus 1. Edward, bomb down, 25 seconds. At this point, clutching his straws. Maybe boost the frag total slightly. Not even that. It's going to be RPK to find the final kill. So G2, like we said, a back and forth game. To be fair, going down 4-0 with some very close rounds, some tight clutches there. They do concede those to begin with, but they don't let their head go down. They're actually managing to get a double orb set up. It seemed to work very well for them. Na'Vi adjusting with some faster plays there to mix things up, which is successful for them as well. But still, a game you can't really say that one team's got the better of each other just yet. It's going to be 8-7. Yes, a T-sided map, but we know how strong G2 can be on the T side. That's been the headline of this tournament so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's dead right from Yanko to say so. This is the map that G2 can pick up CT-sided rounds, but Na'Vi, we know. The one thing I will say is Guardian. I didn't see as much of explosive play from him. Normally, he's very assertive on the T side on this map. He pre-fires in towards Z from a main. He'll get shots toward Ivy. He'll face on inner, no problem with the bounty hop down ramp. We didn't really see much of that, but CT side, he's still a huge force, especially when he plays toward Hitch toward a main.
Inside presence here from both teams. With Edward to kick things off. A double headshot for him. Finally, it will be silenced by Scream there, flaming out to receive the rest of G2. Ooh. Smith's not even checking the right there. Focus towards the connector. 4 versus 2. Scream and RPK. I was about to say, the only players remaining now to make it RPK. A nice aggressive player from Na'Vi. RPK surely will be taken out of it.
I thought Guardian would run in for the knife.
Almost. Well, there it is then. It was Na'Vi. I like that. They went for 5 sets of armor there, so they knew, okay, we need to work some frags. Let's push towards the lower ramp there, and Edward opened things up, finding 2 headshots there, and Smith's running down the lower ramp. Didn't even check the bomb side. Just would be convinced that Connect would be the only position the players would be coming from. He gets taken down, and what a clean procedure there for Na'Vi overall. 8-8. They balance things up. No bomb planted for G2, so we'll be a force buy here in a second. Smith's, of course, I'm getting confused by those pictures now.
It's getting everywhere, isn't it?
It will be him on the pretty much fully engaged. Get the PT50, obviously, the AWPer of the team. Objective here, try and get the bomb down. To be fair, I'm not a huge fan of these buys on the second run of train, especially when you have no nades to work with. Had they got a couple of smokes and some flashbangs, that might have been more viable for me. The Tech-9s and PT-50 combo, it seems a bit of a waste of the money at this point. I just don't see how you're going to make those frags happen. How are you actually getting out of a key choke point here? How are you getting out of Ivy? Yes, you have one flash, but if that's not successful, Crossfire's is going to mow you down here.
So Guardian goes into the M4 early. And this is Na'Vi not wanting to give up anything.
Yeah, 4 rifles, 1 UMP.
It's part of the reason I wanted them to go for the knife last round, because if he gets that extra 1,500, we could have an early AWP.
Would that get you going?
It would make me very excited.
Well then, like I said, how do you make this happen with 1 flash? That's it. Yes, you've got the upgraded pistols, but you just need a smoke to something so you can focus on one area. Maybe towards the back tracks there, you smoke to the right-hand side of Ivy. This is going to be very difficult.
Rely on a mistake from Na'Vi.
Well,
it's pretty much the only thing right now. If Guardian gets caught out in the open here and double-faced picked off.
I think he's got a teammate with him. Good grenade coming in as well. Could be the mistake we need. The flash is actually good.
Flash. Yup, his teammate's not there. Body's found the opening pick. Now they're overwhelming. It's strength in numbers straight through from G2. Simple and Edward, though, they hold the line. Simple, especially with 2 kills. He's gone fairly low on HP, 16. RPK has found Edward. That means he's invulnerable next. It's just RPK remaining, but Simple. He doesn't have a bailout plan yet. His teammate not yet in position, so he's trying to buy time and space. Got a headshot lineup above the bomb train. And that'll make it 9 for Na'Vi.
Yeah, well, there you go. That 1 flashbang did pay dividends there for the French side. Actually, fully blinds Guardian there. I didn't think that would be a possibility, but it works out for them, like he said. Power and numbers towards side alley, pushing out, actually managing to have pretty equal exchanges then. And it was a 2v1 towards the end. RPK with 10 seconds. Knew he couldn't plant the bomb at that point. Simple was just trying to buy time as long as possible while his teammate rotated in. He manages to get the last kill, and it will be G2 now on pretty much a Felico. Well, exactly that. Not a single penny purchase. Well, spent into this round. It will be 5 Glocks, no nades, just RPK and the bomb. If they even find a kill here, I'll be impressed.
Shot through from Seized.
Okay.
MP9. Well, there's another one for Na'Vi. Seized went low, though.
Yep, that's something.
They're making it hard for you to call these.
Yeah, it's true. Well, it's just very unlikely. That's C's like pushing into position. He doesn't really have to, right? Like, as soon as he spotted 2 players there, could have just fallen back. But he fancied a frag, and he got it, to be fair, but lives to tell the tale. We'll see what happens as G2 make their way towards inner. What can he do? He's going to walk down lower ramp, this time without the flashbang, and just hope for the best. Maybe just go towards upper ramp and just jump out at the same time, hope they're not watching it. Very unlikely, but at this point, just hoping a CT makes a mistake.
So 4 players ready. Simple, the one that's going to greet at least, well, it looks like 3 of them. There's one going toward upper now. Flamey's got a crossfire set. Simple never faces. It's going to have to be Flamey instead. He's missed a few shots. He's made this awkward. Dropping down body's going to capitalize. They've got the bomb in position to be planted. Will that be denied by Simple? He hasn't quite got that far. No, it will not. He'll get the kills, 3 of them. But he has to get the defuse, which gives more money to G2 heading into the first gun round and should comfortably give them an AWP.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not sure how Flamey managed to whiff like that, but still, he didn't get a single kill there. I guess there was so many players on the screen, it's quite overwhelming at times, but he should be finding at least one there. They weren't really looking at him, just expelled all his bullets there. You only get 20 in the M401S, and allowing them to get the bomb down there, that's actually quite a big deal. That's an extra $800 per player. That means they can get a nice, healthy buy here, G2. They could have the AWP, they could have head armor, they could have the nades required as well for full execution. You can see it's looking pretty promising for them as we go into the first gun round here. Na'Vi there with the lead, 10 to 8 for now. AWP in hands of Guardian. This is when the game really begins. Guardian focusing towards main entrance at the start.
Smoke in toward the ladder as well. Meanwhile, over toward B, RPK is going to cross by the first entrance, but a smoke in the corner, he'll go no further. 4 on outer, 1 on B right now for the CTs. They are rotating Flamey back over on his FAMAS.
Well then, like we said, the T's with everything to work with here. They're going to be in a full default for now. RPK working towards inner, and you can see it's going to be Smiths and Body trying to get that pick towards Ivy. Guardian flashed off for now, but not overcommitting. This drops the smoke to delay the terrorists pushing any further. They'll be giving them a smoke in return, though. And they're actually going to be repositioning the bomb towards inner. So, like we said before, this won't be a full inside execution. You only have 1 smoke remaining, but if you wanted to go for it, the bomb is there. Send Smiths on the lower ramp, see if you can find that first pick. There's only be 1 player for Na'Vi in there. It's going to be simple. 50 seconds remaining, though. Don't need to overcommit to this. Could just try and work the pick and then go back towards outside. That's still an option.
Slow pace to this second half. 40 seconds remain, all 10 alive. Just now getting an indication that G2 want B. And a very passive hold is going to be a problem, because not only does a passive hold make it a problem in denying a bomb plant, which we know is very easy to achieve, it means that they have a chance, G2, to push all the way forward and cut off rotations much easier. Simple's going to have to be fairly proficient in spotting anyone trying to do so, and for his sake, no one really is. Does spot RPK, but that's not up close. Now the shot with Scream, that's big, because it gives C's the chance to get up high easily, takes down RPK. Flamey's fallen, but Guardian gets position, and no one getting forward for G2 makes this all too easy, I have to say, for Na'Vi, as it's just Body trying to flank out. And they've got information that he's definitely not toward the CT side. They've already cleared all of that, so Guardian spotting him jumping over in a lovely crouch shot.
So yes, G2 get towards the inside side there, Matt. Uncontested, that's fine, but you could see a pretty stark contrast there from what we saw from G2. When they were going towards inner, they have all the smokes and molotovs and the flashbangs. So yes, they got the bomb down there, but when the retake comes in, it's such an open playing field for the CDs to find the frags there. You can see, actually, Simple, he's more than happy to fall back without a frag and allowed to be planted. They still have 5 players rotating in, and G2 just have nothing left to hold them off at that point. They can't push down. The choke points aren't covered up with the smoke, so they're going to have to sit back and try and use the crossfires there, but it was Na'Vi just overwhelming them.
And in fairness, I did say that all Simple had to do is make sure they didn't push forward. But the fact that G2 couldn't find the kill on entry meant that they didn't know where he was to push, so...
Well then, it will be Shoxy taking some heavy damage there. Double AWP setup this time for Na'Vi. Shoxy goes down to 30 HP. Edward, though, can sense players on the other side, but it sees burning him alive. No kill required. It's going to be an inner push. A quick adjustment here, but Simple finds an easy first frag. Looking for the second as well. Of course he nails it. 5 versus 2, just Scream and Body remaining, just trying to get a plant at this point.
And Simple did see a shoulder from Scream. Bomb's going to go down. Nothing he can do about that. But Edward getting the last of 5 kills. Or sorry, the most recent of the 5 kills. That'll be the last from Simple. Is going to make it easy again with the nade doing the initial damage. And then the CZ. Bomb diffused. Na'Vi on 12. G2 only with 8.
A bit of a Hail Mary play, isn't it? You're throwing a lot of smokes and flashes that you're trying to sell, that you're going to be rushing outside there. Shoxy does commit, but he goes down by himself, and there's no one to join him at that point. And unfortunately, for G2, when they go back towards inner, they've once again expended everything they've got in terms of the smokes and the flashbangs. It's Simple. Such an easy run of it. He's in the connector still, doesn't need to rotate. His teammates are saying it's absolutely fine. 2 easy shots for him. Locks it down, and G2 going to be 12-8 down at this point. Still money available for them. It's starting to dwindle, though. You can see they've got the rifle, sure, but not really much to work with once again. 2 smokes remaining now at the 1:35 mark. Edward a little bit more aggressive this time in front of the smokes. Maybe we'll get flashed in towards A main at this point.
Shock's waiting on the ramp to go in toward B. We knew this double op setup when Simple got rolling on this team was going to be huge. And Simple, last round, showed that.
Yeah, well, he is definitely proficient with the weapon. We all know it. It was just a matter of time.
That one goes through the edge of the wall, though. That or it hit the shin of Scream when his teammate in front. Shox went over to Shox's left, right for Simple, but either way, it means they're in the sight. Bomb planted again, and this time Shox has good forward stance. Simple does get the shot onto RPK. Good position from Seized. Will catch off Shox, but now we've got a response. Screams and Smith. And the smoke now in the alley. He's going to buy some space, but that Molotov. Smith's got to move. Scream's only on 6 HP. Seized tagged up. They'll start to go. Spray through. Edward. And a Molotov again behind the main train. Seized gets one, traded out. That's going to burn Scream, though, as he tries to retreat. Knows Edward can now wrap around this direction with Scream gone. It's on to Body. 1 versus 2. Body does peek it back out, and Edward doesn't even need the help of Simple.
It's getting a bit desperate for G2 at this point. This time they're running down the lower ramp. They managed to negate Simple just about, but once again, nothing deployed at all. They're trying to go for the surprise factor down that lower ramp. Simple, luckily for them, he only manages to get a leg shot in. They get towards the inside. Yes, they plant, and the money gets into a position of the maximum loss bonus now to a point they can buy, but it's just at this stage where they look like they're a little bit lost as to what to do, how to shut down Na'Vi. Na'Vi just running their default, Simple towards inside by himself, happy to do it, finding 1 or 2 frags every single time, slowing them down, and Na'Vi just completely bleeding out. They're really nice use of the incendiaries as well. You can see G2 had nowhere to run at that point, couldn't fall back to the lower ramp as hard as they tried. And we'll be round number 22, and 5 AKs once again for G2. Actually, there's a little Gillo in there as well for RPK. Once again trying towards the inside side. Let's see if it works out for them. All 5 players committed, smoked out for now. What have they got left? They have got the smokes for some sort of execution here. It's been very dry towards that inner side so far for them. I guess they'll wait this smoke out. Try and use the smokes towards the key choke points this time. Because the thing is, they're getting the bomb down. They're actually getting in position where they can win the rounds. Just the smokes on there for the land to push down and stop the rotations. That's been a huge problem here. So the smokes against double up setup. This could work out for them now.
Simple trying to find that angle that's favorable. His teammates already pushed forward. It's going to be Flamey that's closest to denying them. Wide of the train. Nice shot from Scream, though. Immediately traded, gives Smiths the chance to plant. Shox is going to try and go back through the smoke as well for G2. Now they finally, after consecutive bomb plants, going to find a way to hold the post plant. Apparently not, with Edward finding the next kill. Gives the advantage back to Navi. Shox flamed out. He's going to have to move, and Body's got seized down. It does give them a better chance, but Shox has nowhere to go. Flamey's found the shot. Simple's pushed up. Gets traded by Body, which leaves him in the high ground. But he's only got 9 HP. And 2 Navi players still to find, who now know exactly where he is. The flash goes deep, though. He's pushed out. He's behind this smoke, but Edward just barely sees him. Once again, bomb planted, and nothing to do to stop Navi.
It's better this time, at least. They're making it down to a situation that's possible to win towards the end. And they have the smoke to actually get a little bit deeper down towards the bomb side there. You can see Shox behind the smoke trying to make something happen. They just can't land the shot required. And Body left. 2 versus 1, and he's got 8 HP. He has to try and push out, can't leave himself exposed towards the upper platform area. He has to face when the fake defuse comes in. So he's trying to be a little bit more surprising in that manner, but still does not work out for G2. Inner sight seems to be heavily favored for them time and time again. Getting close, but no cigar at the moment. 14-8 as we get to the closing sectors now. 5 AKs once again, still money, allowing them to buy. No warp, of course. Maybe it's in again, Matt. They're getting close. Just keep trying them.
It feels like a scrim where you're practicing that one strat until you perfect it. Oh, that didn't work. I think if we try this.
They're not even, like, the thing is, like, they're still struggling against one player holding this. It's not like Navi are reading it and playing like 3 or 4 players every single time, or even having 2. It's just Simple, who stays alive, finds 1 frag. The rotations are always good, and G2 have been lacking with the smoke usage. This time the smokes have been deployed once again. Let's see if Simple can find that 1 frag. He keeps getting time and time.
Body taking Edward immediately does finally give an advantage for them, and Simple's going to get pushed back. 2 members pushing up from G2. 3, in fact, this time. Maybe that's the difference. RPK spots up Simple, who's behind it off. It's Flamey in and out. As Seized will fall. He too, Guardian with a shot in between gets Scream. That does leave him as the last, though. 1 versus 3, and finally G2. Finally, the strat has worked.
Yeah, well, you can see they're actually pushing down aggressively. I was about to conclude that round. Maybe Guardian could have made it interesting. But you see how much more effective it is once the smokes are down there and you're actually pushing in aggressively and stopping that double up setup, allowing to work the picks there. There's a lot more pressure towards the connector and CT spawn. They can't actually get out together and use their grenades or their incendiaries to flush the terrorist out. They're actually being a little more proactive this time. And that's why it's successful. They weren't doing that before. So I guess they probably adjusted and saw the errors they were making and now managing to actually finally pick up a round here on the second half. It was 7-0. Problem is, Matt, if they were to lose this round and go to match point, it's obviously GG at that stage. They're going to be fully reset. They still don't really have money for this round. 4 AKs, 1 Tech 9 on Shox. They've got utility to work with here. And inside, once again, let's do it. Let's keep going with it.
Simple's going to back away at the exact moment the flash came through. As such, so too to the players. Flamey as well, in position. Back to the same thing.
This could be the fake this time. Maybe.
And that's the problem. If you start to stack it to say, okay, well, we know they're just going to keep doing it, then you run the risk of them switching it up and going to the other side and catching you off. Simple smoked, can't see towards upper. Oh, the player drops in. Thankfully, Flamey hits the shot at the exact moment. Simple looks away, misses his second flick toward RPK. Second peek, no better. Bomb planted once more, but they're down a man this time, G2. And the aggressive push, well, it starts to work. Smith does find 1. Edward's going to trade out on Body, though. And he was the one that was in the prime position to cut them off. It leaves just Smiths and RPK, both of them deep inside of the site. RPK gone already. Smiths, he's in the ramp, but it's not the high ground. He's going to try and rotate over there now. The problem is, okay, well, he's got the Molotov.
There's smoke on the bomb, though.
All right, there you go. It's out. You're right. Good call. So smoke on bomb. They can get on defuse. C's going to cut him off. 15 rounds Na'Vi. That time it doesn't work.
It's weird. Obviously, the last round's successful, and you can throw these in every now and then, these set pieces off the bat, but you need to be bleeding on the CT. You can't allow them to retake you with absolutely everything. They've got all the incendiaries, their own smokes to lock off lower ramp and upper. They've got the flashbangs, the HEs to actually chip you down. That's a really weird call. So many rounds in a row. They're getting the bomb down. You can see on the scoreboard right now. How many times is that? Like 6 times in a row getting the bomb down, sure, but they only really had a success round in the previous one. They're doing it once again, this time with more Molotovs deployed. It seems like they're kind of adjusting it every time. But for me, you can do that, but you need to be showing presence on the map first. We go into round number 25 here, and it's going to be a weakened buy. You can see, yes, they get double up set up, but 2 pistols to go with that as well. Not going to be going for that inside play. This is more of a default, trying to work those picks. Shoxy anticipating a CT push through that smoke, but not meant to be as of yet. Body holding inside. And a very strange half here on the second one, Matt, I have to say. I haven't seen anything like this in quite a while.
Little body check on the way by.
Nice.
So 4-1 in setup. The one on the inside side being simple. Good shot from Edwards. Smiths will go down. So he's trying to find an angle favorable toward A main. Now it's Guardian to bait in Flamey. He's there. He peeks, finds one. RPK's gone. Shox still there. Spotted surely with that flash going up on top of the server. But Shox does have an AWP. Guardian, you would have thought he would have hit that shot. Does respond, though, with the headshot onto Flamey. And now Body's going to do the same on C's. Guardian immediately comes back into it. No Shox is low. Nade takes him down. And Edward finding Body leaves Scream. 1 versus 3. Na'Vi 15 rounds and make it 16. Over and done with. They'll take map 1.
Well, Na'Vi do win both pistols. They were up 4-0 in the first half as well. They win the CT pistol, but that second half, that's where the highlights are for me. It seemed like Shoxy was almost, obviously, the in-game leader. He knows that inside execution is going to work. He knows that's only one player for Na'Vi towards that position, but was it 5 rounds in a row? They just kept trying it off the bat. All 5 players committed to that area. Only winning one of them as well. Simple to shutting them down every time. And like I said, if you're going to do that from the start of the round as well, that's a problem because the CTs retake in with absolutely everything to actually shut you down. You can see that's a problem for them. As soon as they drop the incendiaries on the site towards the ramp, that's when you're going to flush them out, and that's when the duels will be favourable to the CTs. That's why I thought it was a really weird outcome. And G2, I would say, probably no better than that overall, but there it is.
And again, I mean, running that same strat so many times, like you say, for all those same problems, they only pushed forward with 3 players once, and it worked.
That's what we were saying the whole time we were watching it, right? As soon as they start doing that, they can actually shut down this double orb setup, and that's when it actually becomes an idea that works for them. But it was just a little bit too late at that point. So there it is. Na'Vi, like we said, winning both pistols and pretty convincing towards the end. The first half was interesting. Lots of key clutches there, lots of 1-on-2s, 3-on-1s. Na'Vi were winning, so GT weren't getting rolled over.
That came close both 3 times, I think.
So still, they CT half, they were still well within contention to win the game. Just unfortunately let themselves down a little bit on the second, I would say.
Well, with that said, let's send it back over to Sick Boy in the desk.
I am sick.